Hello, hello. Welcome back, Cougar fans, Cougar Nation, and all those loving soccer. We are back here for Game 2 as CUC has kicked off, rocking their all-white home uniforms with their keeper rocking those highlighter yellow kit as well. Blackburn on the other side rocking the all-black fit as Delgado sends that one out of play for CUC. Blackburn Beavers will be, their keeper is wearing his all blue with black short kit. They'll be starting it off here. We'll go over the lineups for today. The Beavers, visiting Beavers, with 00 Braden Keys in the net. As there's a quick shot on goal, but it's deflected. Second effort, diving on it, is the keeper, Leandro Triano. Some quick action there early as CUC's providing a lot of pressure early on. Little ticky-tack foul there for Caleb Kale of CUC. We'll continue going over that lineup for that Beavers team. They're going to have Braden Keys, 00. Number 3, Braden Smith. Number 4, Abner Portillo. Number 5, Gavin Norwood. Number 12, Grant Uge. Number 14, Alex Jimenez. Number 20, Salvador Paz. Number 26, Nathan Soto. Number 32, Axel Gutierrez. Number 38, Adrian Castillo, Number 88, AJ Blanco, rounding things out. For the home team, the CUC Cougars, in goal, Nathan Gadil. Number 5, Juan Maresco. Number 7, Justin Ocampo. Number 8, Isaac Hernandez. Number 10, Caleb Kale. Number 16, Jesus Badillo. Number 18, Asael Castaneda. Number 21, Bernardo Delgado. Number 26, Giovanni Lechuga. Number 27, Giovanni Velasquez. Number 30, Michael Sinise. And that will conclude that Concordia offense they got going today. Justin Ocampo taking the ball quickly here is stolen by the Beavers. They're passing it around a little bit. Get tripped up there, but maintains it. Passes it over to the far side, and they're running a little bit. That ball's taken away by Velasquez. The Beavers quickly retain possession. Couple headers, ends in the Beavers' way. Good crossing pass right there, but nobody there. It looked to be intended for Uge. And Gadil will take over here. Soft pass over to Velasquez. He's going to run with it a little bit. Sends it way down there. Looks to be out of play. Concordia Chicago coming off a rather impressive win on Monday in their homestand as they took on Andrews University, beating them 6-2. Kind of a pretty dominating performance overall. Michael Sinise was the headline player with a hat trick. 3 goals in that match. We'll see what he's got in store today for this Cougar offense. Blackburn throwing in from that middle third. Passes it over to Portillo. Good slide attempt right there. Should set up a corner kick here for Blackburn on the near side. Adrian Castillo will kick it away. Portillo and Castillo trying to do a little give and go. There looks to be a foul call right there, and Cougars will send it away rather quickly. Sinise dribbling it up the sideline, sending it away. Little pinball action right there for Blackburn. It comes right back to Sinise. Jimenez unable to control that one for Blackburn. And it'll be a throw in here for Moresco. Castaneda passes it to Kale. Kale over to Badillo. Badillo sends it deep into that third. Blackburn will take over here. Ocampo dribbling up with it. Cougars making a deep run here. Hernandez loses that one. Sent away. Looks to be Hernandez with that throw in here for the Cougars. Nice easy pass to Badillo. Quickly overtaken by Blackburn. We're going to get our first sub of the day, it looks like. So out goes Alex Jimenez for Blackburn. That throw in unable to connect, but Blackburn will quickly retain possession. Just a swarm of Cougars around the ball, but Blackburn's able to make it out with it. Gutierrez sends that one down. Moresco gets a head on it, but it'll go out of bounds. So now that the Beavers will have an opportunity on this throw-in. Looks to be Portillo throwing in. And that fresh sub, Johnny Perla. CUC's offense so far this season off to a rather strong start. Haven't seen quite anything yet. But in their first two matches, they've had 8 goals already. I kind of mentioned that Andrews match where they put up 6 goals, and then before that on Saturday against Lawrence, they had 2, as they had that 2-2 tie. Both home games. So we'll see how this offense fares again at home for their 3rd straight home game. Badillo loses that one. Ocampo off to Hernandez. Hernandez makes a couple moves, sends it back to Velasquez. Velasquez trying to set something up here. Portillo will take over control. Sends it over to Pause. Ocampo trying to make a couple plays. It works out as CUC will take over possession here. Hernandez tripped up right there. Looked to be UG or Blackburn that tripped him up. CUC with a good opportunity here as everybody kind of setting something up. If you're looking at the football perspective from the 20-yard line, here comes that free kick. Nice little chip shot into the box. Great attempt right there from Michael Sinise. Unable to come up with anything. But if nonetheless, it'll set up some more field position opportunities. They're going to get a corner kick here. It looks to be Delgado kicking away this one. Everybody trying to fight for position in that box. Michael Sinise doing his part. Sent in. Not a whole lot of opportunity right there as Blackburn clears it very quickly. Hernandez will take this throw in here. Doing his best to get it to Delgado. Unfortunately, didn't get too much of him. Blackburn sends it out of play. Velasquez will throw in. Delgado unable to control that one. Some pesky defense there from the Beavers, and the Beavers will allow themselves to get a throw in here. Castillo dribbles up, passes it off to Portillo. Unable to control it is Portillo, and the Cougars will take over. Juan Maresco looks to be the one to throw in. Throwing it in over to Castaneda. Castaneda boots it. And Blackburn will take over and make a couple moves. Here comes Caleb Kale. Passing it up ahead to Michael Sinise. Sinise looked to be a little bit bullied off the ball right there by Gavin Norwood, doing his best attempt at defense and sending it out of play. Will be a corner kick here for the Cougars. Kale will take this one. Sending it into the box. Header attempt by the Cougars was unable to be successful. So nobody quite got anything on it. Blackburn looks to be running away with it. They got numbers. They're onside as well. Here they come. Shot attempt wide right. Visibly distraught over that attempt. Just a 1-on-0 opportunity with just him and the keeper. Unable to make any shot on frame there, unfortunately. Goodell, of course, thankful not having to play any defense on that one, and he'll look to send it away here. That really was our first true look at any kind of shot overall for either team, as it was just kind of a breakaway opportunity for Blackburn. They obviously, unfortunately, were not able to come up with anything there. So far, the first 13 minutes into this match, though, hasn't been a whole lot of anything as far as offensively. Just kind of booting it around. Everybody's kind of fighting for field position so far. So, obviously, plenty of game left to be played, but so far there hasn't really been too much yet. Ocampo tries to send one, a leading pass right there, but got tripped up. This looks like a really good opportunity right here for CUC. About 10 to 12 yards outside that penalty, outside the box. So we'll see if they can craft up any kind of play here. Shot. Save. Second effort again there for Triano. Is it looked to be struggled at first, but he was able to dive on it like a grenade on that second attempt. And Blackburn looks to be off to the races again here. They really do like turning that defense into offense as fast as they can. So here comes Gutierrez. Great lead pass. And Yuji dives right into Gudil right there, trying to make a play on it. CUC obviously visibly frustrated as they're taking care of their goalie right there. Yuji kind of pleading his case right there with the official. Excuse me, Soto was pleading that case. Gudil sends it away. Video passes it off to Maresco. Maresco tries to send it down. Blackburn's able to get a foot on that one. Ocampo and Perla fighting for it. Blackburn will take over. Perla sends that one off. Nobody's able to get a hold of that one. Hernandez will throw in here. Sending it all the way back to their keeper is Blackburn. Norwood sends it up to Castillo. Portillo will throw in here. Portillo taking his time to throw in. Padillo kind of just bodies that one out of bounds, so a little upgrade in field position for Blackburn. Everybody fighting for position as Castaneda had his jersey get pulled on a little bit there, but CUC takes control and sends it down. Norwood will send it back to his keeper, but it's going to, oh my goodness, an own goal right there as Norwood tried to send it back to Triano, but was unable to come up with it. A very unfortunate set of miscues right there. Just a little bit of a lack of communication right there. And CUC will gladly take the 1-0 start to this match. Blackburn looks ready and eager to get back into it. CUC kind of taking their time a little bit more to get ready after that free goal they were just gifted. The official kind of re-cueing that ball back as Blackburn tried to get a little bit of head start going. Tie up right there between Gutierrez and Maresco. CUC will retain right there. Gudil taking his time, passes it off to Castaneda. Castaneda dribbling up a little bit. Getting a firm jersey grab, though, is Soto. They're letting him play today a little bit. As you've kind of seen that matchup between Soto and Castaneda so far, they've been kind of grabbing at each other all day. Of course, only 18 minutes into the match, but definitely something if they're going to let him play so far with that, you can expect for things to get a lot more aggressive as the match continues. I mean, CUC so far today has had 3 shots all on frame and a couple corner kicks to go with it. Of course, none of those ended up in the back of the net. Rather, it was that own goal right there that the Beavers kind of handed them a few minutes ago. seems like Blackburn's still trying to catch their bearings from that kind of disaster play. Of course, they are thankful to have 70 minutes left to play with, so they have plenty of time to kind of regather themselves and get back in as they're making a deep push here. But, I mean, just kind of a horrendous mistake for the timing. And, I mean, there's never a good time to allow an own goal like that, but kind of just sets up a tough situation where now you got to play from behind for a little bit. At least you hope it's only a little bit if you're a Beaver, but deep throw in here for them as Velasquez clears that very nicely. And they're going to send it all the way back to the keeper. So the clearance by Velasquez does its job. They're going to get offsides right there on the Beavers. Velasquez knew that one right away. He kind of had put his hand up before the official put his flag up. Keeping that back line way up there is that leadership values of the grad student Velasquez for CUC. Soto kind of continuing to be just a little pesky to the Cougars all day. Doing his job very well. As right there, Velasquez looks to win some theatricals right there. If you take a look, Velasquez standing at 6'1", probably 195, and he's every bit of it. Whereas Soto on the other side, standing at about 5'7". So that 6 inches and maybe 20, 30 pounds difference, and Soto just kind of shoved him right to the ground. So I don't know if Velasquez takes all that every time, but does his job. Blackburn looks to be running with it here, though. Now it seems like the refs are starting to hold everybody a little bit more in check, as they don't want this game to get too out of hand early. Blackburn to send it away. Routine ground ball right there for the keeper. Goodell fields that one nicely and dives on it. At this point, with that 1-0 lead that they were granted, he's okay with letting clock simmer a little bit. Obviously, still plenty of time left, but no reason to not let a couple extra ticks run off. He punts that one away. That's going to roll for a while. CUC starting to get a little physical there. It was a little bit of a no call. Excuse me, delayed call, but it's there. Michael Sinise went up with Blackburn and kind of just gave him a little shoulder check. Norwood sends that one up ahead. Castillo fighting for it, loses it. Castellano retains, but a couple passes, too many passes potentially for Blackburn. Shot, it's in! Quickly making up for that own goal. Blackburn headed by that goal of Yuji, number 15 of Blackburn. And they quickly find that equalizer. So you see a little bit unprepared, it looked like, as they were just the ball was just kind of dribbling around a little too long, unable to clear it out. And that's just too many chances in the box, way deep in there. That's going to be a nearly impossible mission for Goodell to kind of continue to stay on all of those. So now with a 1-1 tie we have right now, CUC looks to kind of find another way back in. Sends that pass to an open space, but Blackburn's able to take over. Ocampo fighting with Braden Smith. Portillo dribbling up the sideline, kicked out of bounds by Kale. And a quick throw in yet again. Portillo dribbling up, sends a deep pass, sent right back to him though. Starting to get circled by a couple Cougars. And all that takes is just a little bit of agitation, not quite on the same page, and CUC will take over now. So Blackburn's second shot on goal of the day results in that equalizer, tying things up at 1 apiece. And now you got to wonder, is that the momentum shift that's all that Blackburn needed? Because they've been making pretty good runs so far. They've been playing strong defense when they need to. And if you're sitting there right now as a Beaver fan, you got to be thinking that you don't allow that own goal right there. And we're looking at a 1-0 lead instead of this 1-1 tie. Strong clearance right there from Norwood. Sending them all the way back to about midfield. Looked to be intended for Lechuga, but batted away. Velasquez will throw in again. Norwood gets a head on it. Michael Sinise jumps up again. And CUC retains control, sending it deep over to Kale. Moresco takes over back to Kale. Kale trying to make a play on it. Pesky defense right here from Freddie Pies. And Pies takes over. And his attempt to clear, sent out deep to UG. UG takes it, and UG's on the run. UG sends it way ahead, a little too far ahead. Velasquez able to send that back to Gadil. Blanco kind of taking his time, setting things up. Finds an open man who launches one way deep out of play. Hard to tell if that was a shot from 30 yards out or if that was an attempted lead pass, but either way, he missed both the net and his nearest teammate by about 20 yards each, so hard to make out your decision there. Couple more subs come in for Blackburn as they're rotating through their men. That is one of the benefits of having a rather deep bench that they have traveled here today to Concordia Stadium. Is that luxury of being able to kind of make adjustments however you see fit. As there's another shot on goal. Wow, his second of the day. Second in the last 5 minutes. Grant Yuji, have yourself a first half. My goodness. As he's swarmed by his teammates naturally. All of a sudden, the Beavers have surged and taken control of this match early. There was nothing going on for the first 15 minutes of the match. They allow an own goal and then quickly take care of business. Yuji with his second goal of this half. Got to assume frustration is starting to boil just a little bit for CUC now, as they got 18 minutes left in this half to try and figure some things out on that offensive side that's been so good so far this year in those first 2 matches that we talked about earlier. I mean, they were coming off an extremely impressive match against that Andrews University. So we'll see if they can try and find something out here. Castaneda sends it deep to Kale. A little too far as Norwood tries to send it away. Pies sends it up. Velasquez able to take over that one, though. Off to Maresco. Maresco, with an attempted lead pass, misses his man. Maresco will take the throw in here for CUC. Maresco and Badillo both seem to think that should have been a CUC throw-in, but Beavers will take over. Delgado getting a little handsy there, but he's able to get away with it. And now Michael Sinise trying to pressure that ball. Good lead pass, but Velasquez able to defend it and send it out of play and give his defense a chance to regroup. Same idea there as Velasquez sends that one out of play as well. Velasquez really has been doing a pretty strong, thorough job so far this year. Coming back from that ACL surgery of last year, only was able to play in a couple matches, but I mean, he really has been everything that this team's been looking for from that veteran leadership of having that grad student on that defensive back line. As that one's ripped. Missed left, though, for Pies. Not a bad idea. Just keep firing away as Blackburn's been doing these last 10 minutes. Just keep giving themselves opportunities. It's that volume. That volume of just keep pressuring the keeper, force him to keep making plays. As so far, he's only has one save and 2 goals allowed. So what they've been doing so far has definitely worked. Lechuga kind of goes end over end. Head over heels right there. Hard to tell if it was a tabletop thing or if it was kind of on under his own doing right there, trying to get a call. And who else would be in the mix other than Soto of Blackburn? Velasquez sends it over to Castaneda. Castaneda with room to work. Sends it up ahead to Maresco. Back to Castaneda. Picked off by Pies. And Pies with a lead pass. Velasquez there yet again. Passing it off to Castaneda. Taken away by Perla. Perla by himself. Rips it. Gudillo saves it on the first one. Gets a little bit of a miscue, but is able to dive in it again the second time. We saw that earlier on a few opportunities for Triano when he was in goal. Final 15 minutes of play in this first half. Your score right now, the Blackburn Beavers 2, Concordia Chicago Cougars 1. Kale sends that one way up ahead. Welcome, Reagan Espinoza, to the broadcast. How's it going so far?
It's going pretty great. I got to see the score from while I was coming up, and I definitely see that it's been a pretty great game, so I'm excited to see what there's to come.
Yeah, well, to kind of catch up all the new viewers and yourself, been a rather interesting match so far, as right around that about 20 minutes into the match, Blackburn suffered an own goal as Norwood kind of sent that one back. A little lack of miscommunication between him and Triano that led to that first goal for CUC, and then following right after, unaffected by it, Blackburn kind of set the tone and answered with a couple goals of their own, both by both were by UG. So CUC trying to catch their bearings just a little bit after allowing those 2 quick ones from Grant UG. So there's a deep fly ball sent out way overhead of Nathan Gudillo. Goodyear will send this one away. Yeah, I will say both sides have started to get a little chippier as the game's progressed. Kind of just seeing whatever opportunities and trying to get away with whatever they can, but nothing too crazy yet. Is that a deep pass right there, all alone. Offsides, unfortunately, right there for Blackburn. Velasquez looked to know it right away, though, for CUC. Velasquez will send this one away. So one of the kind of things that I've noticed so far, Reagan, is kind of just the CUC's been struggling a little bit on that offensive side, hasn't found too much pressure in that attacking third in the last 20-plus minutes. They had a little bit of action right there. As there's another miscue, Blackburn with numbers, sends it off. Pies rips it. An easy save right there for Gadil. Yeah, kind of just similarly to what we're just noticing right there with another run right there for Blackburn. Unfortunately, CUC's kind of been struggling to get to that attacking third, get on the offensive end. Maybe this boot will give them a chance, but so far it just kind of seems like the lack of opportunities. As Michael Sinise is on the run, passes it, it's cleared well. So kind of, obviously you've only been able to view the broadcast so far for only a few minutes as you yourself just coming back from your match that took place just before this game, that women's soccer game for CUC, of course. But kind of what is your take on how this CUC offense can kind of get rolling, as right now they unfortunately only have 2 shots on goal, 3 shots overall on the day?
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, we saw last game versus Lawrence that they had an amazing game, as well as the previous game that they just played, they put up 6. So I definitely think them continuing crashing the box, especially in the corner, they could get a few goals in.
There's a header attempt, but it's saved right there by Triano. Kind of a little bit of chaos right there, but he's able to make a play on it and tries to send it up early, get the offense rolling. But, yeah, as we mentioned earlier, kind of the Andrews game where they were just kind of firing on all cylinders. Michael Sinise with 3 goals of his own, 6 goals overall for the team. So what do you think they kind of need to get going? We're starting to see a little bit more here as they're showing off a little bit more aggression, getting on that offensive side now.
I think just continue being creative. They have great offensive players, and just continue getting up there and taking shots. Throughout their games, they had a number of great shots. So I think that them continue doing that will definitely be a breakthrough through this game. They just need a little more motivation, and they're there.
Yeah, I think all the motivation you need right now is you're down 2-1 with 10 minutes left in the first half. So there's a little bit of a tie-up right there.
They also have done a great deal having an advantage in free kicks and being able to dominate in them, so we can see what we get out of this one.
Yeah, let's take a look right here as Ocampo looks to be setting things up right here just outside that box. That official forcing Ocampo to be extremely precise with that ball placement, it looks like. That official kind of lining everybody up, making sure nobody's getting an unfair edge in any way. Looks like Ocampo and Moresco both lined up on this one. Chip shot by Moresco, headed away very easily right there. Sent right back into the box, but cleared yet again. Now the Beavers kind of got a little bit of a run here coming. Everybody looks to be onside. Ocampo kind of steals that one away. A little bit of muscling off the ball right there. Blackburn takes over. Velasquez starting to get physical now as well. And they're getting going real quick here. Caceres tries to center that one, cross it away. Ocampo sends that one to Klozik. Klozik running away with it. Klozik back to Gutierrez. Gutierrez taking a little bit longer with it. Tries to send it back over to Klozik, but not able to come up with it. Figuera passes it away. Gutierrez running with it. Tries to take a rip at it, but a little bit of a block right there from the Beavers kind of keeps that one away.
Blackburn seems to be doing a great job defensively and getting out and transitioning to their Concordia's defensive third.
Definitely. That's one of the things that they've been able to showcase so far today is that almost bend, don't break defense when it is needed, where on the few times that CUC's found themselves on that attacking third, Blackburn's been able to swarm to the ball and kind of hold their lines and kind of do everything that they've been looking for to kind of maintain that steady defense and not cracking under any pressure. Blackburn sends it back to about midfield before getting things going here again. Sends it over to Pies. Pies kind of gets swarms by a couple white jerseys there.
Whoa.
Michael Sinise has been on the giving end of some of those and now kind of getting a little bit of it back at him. Velasquez will send it away here. Final 6 minutes of this first half. Headed away in an attempt to clear it. Beavers able to retain control. Here comes Caceres running down, but just sends that one right up ahead. Good deal. Send that one over to Maresco. Maresco comes up empty on that one, and Pies looks to get things going a little quick here. Perez send it back to Pies. And Pies will have another throw in. Blackburn similarly trying to get things going early. The official kind of holding them in check this time, and looks like they had it wrong. It was actually CUC's ball on that one. Alvarado sends it off. Crawling around a little bit there, but unable to maintain possession of it. CUC will send it away here. Kozik runs that one down. He also stumbles. Stumbles again. Ocampo with a block there on the attempt to clear it, but they are able to anyways.
We could see the energy drive from Blackburn as every single attempt they get the ball, they strive to go forward, and they're continuously making runs.
It's kind of that never relenting. Just every opportunity they get, they just continue to press, keep going. And that's kind of one of the benefits of having that strong amount of depth that Blackburn's been able to travel today is they've already brought in several subs. I believe 7 subs already, whereas CUC's only been able to bring in 3. So that can be a huge difference.
Yeah, so they have a huge bench as well. They've got like around 15 on the bench. So definitely having those subs come in, they're keeping their energy up as CUC hasn't really brought in as many.
Yeah, I think one of the benefits, too, of the depth, obviously, you know, any team can just provide a bunch of players, but when they're able to contribute in the manner that Blackburn's bench has been doing so far, it just carries so much more weight because if you want to think about the selfish side of things, everybody wants to play. So if the guys behind you are performing at a high level, you realize you got to step up your game, and it kind of has that rolling effect. As here comes Blackburn.
Yeah, to add on to that, it seems like anyone that comes on the field is just ready to come and play. It doesn't matter like the level they were, they're just all able to substitute with the same energy and drive.
Definitely. I think one of the things that we're starting to see as well on both sides here is does appear to be starting to get a little bit more rain going here in River Forest. So some of those fans are bringing out their umbrellas, and you're going to see a couple more players hitting the deck if that turf gets a little bit more slippery. As Blackburn tries to send that one away. Good attempt on that shot right there. Unfortunately for Ibarguen Landato, just a little too high. And Gudillo send it away. We have 2 minutes remaining in that first half. 2 minutes for CUC to try and find that equalizer.
CUC has been doing a great job defensively as well, especially with all the transition up front. They've been able to keep their cool and being able to progress.
Definitely. They have been, obviously there were those 2 strong runs by UG early on, but ever since that they've kind of been able to recuperate and settle back in. Pies with a crossing pass, gets picked off right there by Hernandez. Figueroa kind of gets taken out right there, but
Especially with fouls like that, they're going to want it more. So I think them getting a little chippy, definitely there's more motivation to come.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of aggression right there. Just kind of, it's one of the fouls are going to come naturally along with when you're playing at that such high intensity for 90 minutes. It's only, I mean, it's just realistic, but final 20 seconds right here of the half. Both teams not content with dribbling it out. Pies takes a run at it. Badillo also hit the deck on that one.
6, 5, 4, 3.
Very chippy at the end of this first half. And that'll be the end of our first half so far, as Blackburn leads 2-1. Seems to be a little bit of a scuffle at the end of this first half, but most players, seem to be trying to separate both parties as they'll hit their respective locker rooms and discuss things for the half and try to make any adjustments. That'll be all right now on the CUC Sports Network. After this 15-minute intermission, we'll head back and look to see these last 45 minutes of soccer. Welcome back, Cougar Nation. Ready to kick off this second half. Blackburn ready to send things away. If you weren't here for the first half and missed that, CUC took an early lead going up 1-0 after an own goal by Blackburn. But then Blackburn quickly seized control later on with 2 goals of their own from Grant Uge. And that was pretty much all the action we saw in that first half. CUC hopefully looking to make some adjustments after that first half where wasn't too much action on the offensive side. They had 2 shots on frame, 4 shots overall. Whereas Blackburn on the other side had a few runs similar to this one that they're trying to go on right here. His deep crossing pass, unable to get to it, and Goody will scoop that up and throw it away and get that offense going. Blackburn, on the other hand, in that first half had 12 shots, 6 of them being on goal. And then on the other side, though, Blackburn was a little bit chippier with 12 fouls to CUC's 5. That first half ended with definitely some aggression overall as CUC looking to get things going here. Sinise gets pinched by a couple Beavers. And there we're going to have a stoppage of clock here for an injured Beaver.
It seems to be CUC has started off getting their intensity up and just going forward. So I think by doing that, it's showing that they're willing to go and create opportunities for themselves.
Definitely. I think one of the things that there's obviously multiple reasons for that. It could be just Coach Callahan of CUC kind of getting his team, telling them to get a little pep in the step, get going, firing off. And it could also just be maybe that starting rotation was just a little tired after that first half and needed that 15 minutes to recuperate and kind of resettle back in. Either way, it looks like so far it's working so far. So we'll have to see how the rest of this half continues. Braden Smith sends one up ahead. CUC will take back control, though. Hernandez trying to make a couple plays on it. Keeps that one in play. Sends it back. Ocampo sends it up ahead to Badillo. Badillo over to Maresco. Maresco sends it up to Castaneda. Maresco back to Badillo. And Badillo back to Velasquez. Velasquez trying to control that pace a little bit, let everybody settle in, kind of control a little bit more. Castaneda tries to send that one up ahead to Maresco, but a little too far ahead. But that's the right idea right there. Just kind of set the pace, control the tempo, kind of keep it on the offensive side as much as possible. Ocampo picks off that throw-in. Sinise rolling up deep. An attempted clear. That one gets kind of sent way sky high up to midfield. CUC will regain control. Good slide attempt right there by Caleb Kale. Slowing down that run right there. Delgado sends it over to Sinise. Sinise sends it up to Kale. Kale able to run that one down. Passes it over to Badillo. Badillo up to Ocampo. Ocampo with a little bit of space. Sends it back to Velasquez. Velasquez taking his time. Sends it over to Hernandez. Sends it over to Delgado. Delgado trying to slice up the defense a little bit. And Braden Smith able to body that one up. Looks to be a throw in here for Braden Smith. Braden trying to clear it out with just the throw. Controlled by Soto. Soto sends it up ahead to Castillo. Castillo fires it towards the net. And Nathan Gadil able to come up with that rather routinely. Velasquez fires that one deep. Looks to be an easy one to control there for the keeper. Hernandez intercepts that pass. Lechuga sends it over to Kale. Kale sends it up ahead to Sinise. Sinise dealing with a little contact. Tries to get a shot. Beautiful job by the keeper right there, though, to put that pressure all over him. Triano was able to kind of close the angle off for Sinise, making it pretty tough to even fire a shot off, let alone have a good look. There's another tripped up body right there. Badillo hitting the floor, and he pops up right back, though. Another body hits the floor.
Sinise does a great job using his speed to create opportunities. You can see he drives out wide and then goes inside, which has actually been one of the main opportunities that we have seen in this game.
And Michael Sinise did a lot of that similar technique in that match against Andrews. So he knows what his kind of strengths and weaknesses are, and he's really trying to play to that strength of going on the wide side the whole way.
We'll see another opportunity for CUC right now.
They got an interesting set here with 3 Cougars on the ball here. Velasquez trying to body up in the box a little bit here, fighting for positioning. Shot, save. Right into the belly right there for Triano, and he lays on top of it. So far, though, 7 minutes into this second half, as here comes the numbers right here for shot fired into the net right there as Nathan Soto picks up his first goal of the day. Blackburn will make it a 3-1 lead here.
We saw the outside run, and as the CUC defense thought that it was offsides, but turned into be an opportunity for Blackburn.
Blackburn, after extending that lead to go up 2, will bring in a couple more subs, relieve some men that have been in a while. And that one really did feel like a gut punch right there for CUC. Kind of what went from a strong start to that second half where they were truly being pretty aggressive to just getting flipped on its head right there. What went from a free kick that was saved and then within seconds just a run on the other side for the Beavers that turned into that goal and really just changes the entire complexion of the game overall.
Yeah, I think the main thing is they have to keep going, especially with 37 minutes left on the clock. They still have time, and they can create as much opportunities as they could, as they did in the last game. They put up 6, so there's definitely a chance there.
Yeah, they just kind of have to keep that headspace that they know they have the ability to be a talented offense. So there's a lot of physicality right there between Hernandez and Castillo. Castillo gets tagged with that foul there, and Velasquez will send it away.
And Velasquez has a pretty great kick, so he can get that far too.
Yeah, we've been seeing that all day today. Velasquez kind of controlling that back line, and not only that, he really is kind of starting up that offense a lot.
Especially coming back from his ACL tear from last year, he is definitely putting out the work out there.
Blackburn kind of trying to control the clock here a little bit, sending it all the way back. CUC just kind of has to keep maintaining that pressure on the ball continuously. They can't afford to let any clock dwindle. Obviously, there's still 36 minutes left to play. There's a nice save right there by Gadil. Very nearly avoided disaster right there as a couple Cougars were headed right for each other.
It seems like Blackburn has taken their foot off the gas as if they're just continuing to possess, and when they have the chance, look forward, which is kind of what they want in this type of scenario, especially leading 2 goals.
Absolutely. So Ocampo unable to control that one. Velasquez able to send that one up ahead to Delgado. Delgado sends that one over to Sinise. Sinise dealing with 2 Beavers on him. And that one goes out of play. Sinise looking to get things going quickly. Throws it into Velasquez. Velasquez over to Castaneda. Moresco over to Kale. Kale kind of trailing that far sideline with a shot. Save made by Triano. Getting a couple big paws up there and making the catch. Castaneda sends it all the way back to Gadil. Gadil sends it over to Lechuga. Ocampo tries to pick that one up.
Ocampo does a great job in the midfield, being able to recover those balls and being able to put them up front in the attacking third for his team.
Ocampo as well, you kind of bring him up. One of his great skills that he has is that ability to be very crafty and agile, able to kind of just flip the playing field very quickly. Just whatever it takes kind of thing. He gets tripped up a little bit there, hoping for a foul, but unable to get it. Gadil sends that one. Twists and turns all the way back into play. It looked like it was originally going to be out by 5 to 10 yards, but came back. And CUC's trying to get that offense going, but great defensive play right there by Paws, excuse me. And that'll lead to a corner kick here. CUC keeping trying to put that pace up as they sent a great ball towards the net. Unfortunately, nobody was there to make a play on it.
You will see the rain starting to come through, so definitely the ball will get more slippier. So as long as they're playing clean and straight to feet, then they'll be just fine out there.
And in that kind of situation, those environmental factors at this point can only aid in CUC's chance to try and make a return, as it looks like somebody just got a yellow card there. Looked to be Axel Gutierrez of Blackburn, but we'll clarify that in just a moment.
We see that Blackburn gives off a lot of opportunities in their defensive thirds, so that's quite interesting, especially that's the one place you don't want to foul at.
Absolutely. They also are just kind of content with allowing so many more attempts and pressures on their keeper so far in the second half. It's hard to tell if they're kind of losing that jolt that they had in the first half and the start of the second half, or if it's a change of game plan, if it's trying to keep that balanced approach. But what we had seen earlier was that elite defense that they were showcasing was turning into a transitional great offense. So by taking away that transition offense, potentially they could be losing that defense. As there's a shot wide left right there. CUC really starting to try and pile up those shots here in this start of the second half. They're just kind of getting back to that volume of just letting them fire away, as they got 13 shots so far in this match. Excuse me, 7 shots on frame. Blackburn with 13. Blackburn continuing to let that clock tick down. So we're approaching 32 minutes left in the match. Triano sends that one towards midfield. Badios heads that back into the offensive side. A little bit of a misplay right there, and Braden Smith will take over. Castillo misplays that one. Ocampo will take over. Ocampo tries to send it over to Lechuga, but unable to come up with it. Smith sends it up ahead. And Velasquez is able to get that back to Goodeel. Badillo tripped up, potentially Castillo. There's a shot off the top crossbar there. And now Badillo will pick up that yellow card for CUC. And it's really starting to come down out there now. Not quite at the situation where we'd say raining cats and dogs, but it's definitely getting close. In your experience, Reagan, in these kind of environments, what should a team be looking for as far as both perspectives as how they should be playing in this kind of weather inclement?
Yeah, I think definitely playing a feet helps a lot, just because especially in this environment, they're on turf. So if you don't play directly to their feet, it's going to slip off and it's going to go in no man's land. It's going to be very wet and hard to control. So definitely just possessing. And then in a chance, if they see that defensively they're too high, sending the ball over can do them justice too.
Gotcha. Is it more so when you're in CUC's position and you're trying to have that aggressive edge where you need to pick up 2 goals in these last 30 minutes, what is kind of the approach in like trying to find that happy medium as CUC takes a good run here with Lechuga? Sending a crossing pass.
Definitely motivation, I think. They're there. They've been winning the last 2 games they've won. So definitely just continuing to pressure. They're doing a great job.
As Norwood absolutely sends Michael Sinise to the turf right there. It looked like a full-on shoulder shiver right there. And Ocampo, unfortunately, is also down. Looks to be holding that right leg. Maybe near the foot. Is there going to be... Trainers have not come out just yet. But overall, I mean, things are really starting to get even more chippy as we continue. We've seen kind of spots continuously throughout the game. And unfortunately, Ocampo's down. But just after he went down, we saw Gavin Norwood kind of really send Michael Sinise to the ground. Of course, Michael Sinise kind of doing his part is to kind of taking a little bit of a tumble, but the aggression on both sides is definitely there. There's no lacking of that on that portion.
And I think that just means their drive. Like, they want to win. They want another goal. So definitely that aggression makes it seem like they want to fight back.
Yeah, it looks like the coaching staff of CUC, Coach Callahan, looks to be kind of pleading his case, giving it a little bit to the officials, as he's clearly very frustrated about some of the things that have been occurring so far.
Especially with both teams getting kind of active and kind of like pushing each other, the refs they're going to ignore the little things. So I think that they kind of need to balance where they're at and be able to maintain their cool.
And now Coach Callahan was just issued a yellow card as well. So that looks to be the third yellow card for this CUC program, with Michael Sinise getting one in that 31st minute, and then Jesus Badillo picking one up just a few moments ago at that 58th minute. Now Coach Callahan picking one up as well. You can't try and convince anybody that this team doesn't want to win for sure, though. Slate Sugar getting physical as well now. Michael Sinise pushes that one up. Misplayed. The Blackburn will take control. Blackburn content with their 3-1 lead as they're going to keep continuing to play the time, playing the clock a little bit. Delgado gets tagged with a foul there. Smith ready to get things going for Blackburn. Raises both arms up and sends it away. Castaneda heads that one over. Chip shot up ahead. Castaneda will take control of that one. Both players go for a slide there. Blackburn comes up with it. Castaneda looked to have shoved the Blackburn player to the turf a little bit there, but he quickly bounced back up. Couldn't quite make out who it was with those black uniforms etched in that red color from far away with this rain we have right now in River Forest. But either way, Blackburn will send things away here. Looks to be Freddie Paws. Shot attempt at the goal. Goodyear able to get a hand on it, and then second effort recovers it. Ready to punt it away. Just past midfield. Passed around, and Kale will take over it. Velasquez getting ready to set up this offense here. Get him into that attacking third and trying to cut this lead in half here potentially. One of the things that I've kind of noticed so far in these last 15 minutes is there's a attempt right there, but Triano's been able to body that one up, as he has been all day so far. One of the things that I've been starting to see in these last handful of minutes is it truly feels like every time you see a Cougar rushing on the ball, or controlling the ball rather, you end up seeing 2 to 3 more black jerseys just swarming that ball, and just been kind of suffocating defense. Even though they haven't been on that offensive side, they've really turned it around on that defensive front, where every opportunity that CUC's tried to create or had, it's just quickly squandered by that defense.
And I think that's why they're so successful because they're able to continuously funnel the players together so that they can win the ball as if they're doing right now. And then they just go up and create more opportunities.
Absolutely. Whereas CUC on that other side, by putting so much effort into that offensive portion, leaves them kind of potentially a little more lacking on that defense. As you're seeing right now, they're kind of getting running circles right now and unable to come up with any of these. As another body hits the deck. Here comes Cade Harper. Christian Cazares tried to send a crossing pass. We're going to need a stoppage of time and the trainer to come out for an injury. Looks to be Jesus Badillo. Not quite sure, of course, with that back on the numbers touching the turf. Just under 25 minutes to go in this match. CUC trailing Blackburn 3-1. Blackburn did just bring in a fresh wave of subs as well, so we'll have to see if any of those new players come in are going to be making an ample difference. While we wait for this kind of time to continue, we can take a look ahead at CUC's schedule they got coming up. After this match against Blackburn today, they'll be taking on Caltech at home again. They'll be taking on Caltech on Sunday at 1 o'clock here at Concordia Stadium. That's part of their 5-game homestand that they have to start this season. And then after that Sunday match against Caltech, they'll also host University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point on Thursday next week. So here's another run right here for Blackburn. Crossing pass, unable to connect right there. Really looked like a beautiful opportunity.
Moresco was able to get there and clear the ball out.
Looked like Christian Cazares was on that crossing pass. Looked like it was attempted for Jimenez, unfortunately. For them, they were not able to connect. As Cazares gets a header on that, Gudil goes up and is able to make a play on it. As mentioned, they have that 5-game homestand. We've already seen 2 of them as they started off 1-0-1 between that Lawrence tie and that Andrews dominating victory that we talked about. Then, of course, this match against Blackburn. Obviously, 23 minutes still left in the match. They're going to have to turn things around quickly as they don't want to start out 1-1-1 at home. And then, as stated, to finish off that weekend, Caltech on Sunday, and then University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point ending that homestand on Thursday. So kind of a pretty nice start if you're a Cougar, as you get 5 games in a row to kind of see what the program's working with this year. Really gives you a chance, and you get to enjoy that home cooking the whole time. So on your side, Reagan, what do you think the benefits are of kind of starting off with a 5-game homestand to start the season?
Definitely getting familiar with the fields and the atmosphere. I think obviously starting at home, like everyone wants to start at home, especially like when you go to playoffs, like you want to be at home, you get the support you want. So I think being able to play at home is definitely beneficial because you got to be on your own turf.
Absolutely. I think one of the other things they have too is they have one more. They'll have, after that end of that homestand against Stevens Point, they'll have one game against Eureka at Eureka, As there's a crossing pass. Couple gets batted around a little bit. Finally cleared out. Velasquez tries to rip that one. Way over the goal, though. And Lechuga looks to be a little shaken up on that one. There's a lot of chaos right there in the box. Seemed like a potential great opportunity for CUC is typically when there's all that action, chaos, and pinball going on in the box, that's usually when a lot of offenses are able to get something going because it's pretty unrealistic for the keeper to be able to keep his eyes on everything going on and forces the defense to kind of help him out there. And as you saw there, the Beavers were able to do that. CUC will bring in a sub. Looks to be Roman Klozek. Klozek was one of those 6 goals scored in that Andrews match as well. So maybe this could be that extra bit of offense that we're getting off the bench here. Okay, as mentioned earlier, then they'll go to Eureka for that last game of non-conference play. And then 2 weeks from today, they'll start that conference play at Rockford. Obviously, still plenty of time to kind of settle things and see what the team looks like on that offense, defensive side. But on the other side, in the grand scheme of things, 2 weeks isn't a lot of time, so they're going to have to figure out things quickly. As this one's sent to Goodyear, is able to send that out of play. Potential opportunity right there on that run right there for Cazares. Moresco's able to defend that pass. Sending it over to Kale. Kale tries to cut it back inside. Able to do so, sending it over to Castaneda. Sending it across to Hernandez. Hernandez cuts it up inside. Able to make a nice pass to Sinise. Sinise running with it. Tries to get a lead pass right there. But it's covered up beautifully by Triano.
It seems like a lot of what Blackburn does is they like to pass the ball over their heads. So I think that with them doing that, it creates their players to run in behind and create those goals that they have been scoring.
Absolutely. Blackburn's back on, continuing to control that clock beautifully so far. So we're now approaching 17 minutes left to play in this match. CUC trying to keep that pressure up. Castaneda able to take control of that one, muscle off that Beaver. Ocampo at midfield, trying to make an effort with it. Similarly, as we talked about earlier, you kind of see him right there getting kind of swarmed by a handful of Beavers right there, making it really hard to make a nice, clean pass. Lead pass right there to Kale. Kale going up that sideline, tries to cross it over.
Triano is able to dive on it yet again.
Blackburn's goalkeeper, Triana, has been doing a great job with his saves so far. He's been getting to every ball. So he's been having a great half.
Absolutely. The only blunder that he's had all day was that lack of communication that he had in the first half with Norwood to result in that own goal. But other than that, he's pretty much been lights out all day. It's really been the huge reason in their success that they've had so far today. As Velasquez rips that one, trying to go for the left side of the net. Triano making another good play and gets that offense going right away. And Christian Kale rips down a Beaver by the shoulder area and gets issued a yellow card. Make that the 4th yellow card of the match for this CUC program. Cade Harper sends it up. CUC will take control. Castaneda sends it up ahead. Velasquez tries to get it. Velasquez was trying to get Figueroa on that run right there, unable to connect. Triano kind of came up ahead and was able to get a hand on that, pick it up. Triano continuing to force CUC to apply pressure on him. So he's going to keep letting that clock roll off. Hernandez able to get a head on that one to Figueroa. Figueroa passes it back to Hernandez. Hernandez trying to cut it up instead. Closet got a head on it, but Blackburn retains possession. UG sending that one up to pause, but unable to connect due to that offsides. Moresco sending that one near the box. Toronto throws that one up ahead. You can kind of see that ball skid a little bit on the turf right there with all that rain. As that one's ripped towards the net. Gadil able to get a couple big bear paws on that one. One of the things that can easily be forgotten is how some of those plays that the keepers are making are going to be a little bit more difficult with all that precipitation on the ball and on the turf. But both parties so far since the rain has started have handled it well, to say the least. Late whistle right there for the Beavers as Velasquez was able to draw a call there.
We will see another attempt in the box as Velasquez will send the ball through.
Ocampo trying to send that one just in the general direction of the net for anybody. Triano sends that one up ahead. Soto able to try and control it, but Hernandez takes it back over. So there'll be another whistle. Pause with the lead pass right there. Goodell able to field that ground ball. Looks to punt it away. Really booming kick right there. Kale unable to run it down before going out of play. We're going to get a wave of subs here for Blackburn. Clock will stop for it with them being up 3-1. Final 11 minutes to play in this match. CUC trailing 3-1. Now Blackburn on a nice run here as Smith comes up the sidelines, crossing pass off the right post. And CUC might turn it into a little bit of a run their own. Sinise able to pass it up to Kale. Kale stumbles with it a little bit, but is able to get it back up ahead. And just out of the outstretched reach right there. It's just a tad bit too far ahead of him. Gutierrez was so close, but unable to run it down. And now here comes Blackburn again. Yuji looking for his third goal of the day. Swings wide left, shot. Missed the clear by Hernandez, but Ocampo does a job trying to get it out. Another shot blocked by Ocampo. Great move right there by Kale. Kale sends it up the middle to Velasquez. Velasquez eyeing down Figuera, but isn't able to get him on point. And now Smith pushing the pace yet again. Quickly stolen by Ocampo, though. Smith getting physical now here as he kind of ran in. Velasquez kind of blindsided him, and Smith didn't like it and tries to retaliate a little bit there. And now Smith will pick up that yellow card right there. Typically one of the things that you'll see is they're not able to see the first action, but they will always see the retaliation. Most likely will not cost Braden Smith and this Blackburn team too much, given the score and the amount of time left on the clock, but just one of those things that you got to kind of keep track of and keep those emotions in check. Moresco tries to send that one up ahead, but it's blocked. Good move by Kale. Lead pass right there up to Yuji. Yuji with one man to beat. Cuts it back inside, rips it. Wide right. Looks like he was trying to go for that top right corner, but unable to get anything. Unable to get any spin on it. We'll bring in more subs right here for CUC. Clock will continue to roll during these subs as Braden Smith of Blackburn looks to be down, clutching his lower back. He's going to ask for a sub here. That'll stop the clock at 8:27. 8:27 left in this Wednesday match of non-conference play. course, you hope everything is all right with Smith here, but you have to wonder if the interaction, those two separate interactions with Velasquez, could have had any part in this kind of seat in that lower back kind of issue he's got going right now. Final, just under 8.5 minutes left in this match, and it seems to be not a whole lot has changed after so much. Mostly just a lot of overall aggression, some yellow cards being passed out, some fouls, of course, but nothing too out of the ordinary. Reagan, what do you think needs to happen in these final 8.5 minutes, if not able to kind of find a way to tie it for CUC, but even just some kind of momentum for those matches coming up and kind of setting up what they're looking for in these non-conference matches?
I think to tie it up, obviously score. I think scoring is a major part of them, tying it up or even getting a couple more goals on the board. But they definitely need to play more strategic as they find each other. And especially with the subs coming in, I believe that they can outwin them. They've been doing a great job maintaining and not allowing any goals in. So overall, just being able to get up in their final third and taking shots.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a quick break here during this injury, and we'll be right back after Smith is able to be helped off. Welcome back to this weekday men's soccer non-conference match. Blackburn leading CUC 3-1 with just over 8 minutes left to play. As said prior to going on break, not too much going on in the second half other than some chippiness between both teams, some yellow cards being passed out, but not a whole lot of finding the net too much. Goodale sends that one up ahead. There's some of that more physicality that we've kind of been mentioning so far. That's one of the things that can happen when you're kind of seeing a little bit of this differential in goals is both teams realize what the situation is and they can kind of aren't too concerned with the outcome of the game when it's 2 goals can be a lot at times, and it's just allows the emotions to kind of flare a little bit, and it's challenging to rein those back in, obviously, with the weather we got going with the downpour as well, as Velasquez sends that one up ahead. An attempt here for Gutierrez, but Blackburn able to take control there. Gutierrez looks to throw in here. Moresco sends that one near the box, but an attempted clear, and then Figuera and Gutierrez getting a little physical with each other, as you see right there again. Gutierrez looked to make sure he was getting the foul call before he laid back down. Able to be helped up by his teammates right there and hustle off. Clock continuing to roll through all of that with 6:20 left. And Triano will send this one away. Kind of just finds a patch of open green right there. Moresco tries to send it up ahead.
I think what has helped the CUC defense is definitely with the repetitive ball over the top. They're sensing that Blackburn continuously does it, so they're being able to stop the attack.
Definitely. And at the end of the day, it's all about a game of adjustments. It's whoever's able to make those adjustments first based on what kind of patterns they're seeing from their opponents. As you're going to get a run here. Looks to be Alvarado. Passed off to Yuji. Yuji tries to cross it over. And that shot's ripped right there. Barguin Landano not able to come up with anything there. So we're going to get more subs here. Blackburn trying to get a healthy change of fresh legs throughout this match. Try and set everybody up, as it is also non-conference play for them as well. And when you're playing with a lead like this, you're able to kind of make those adjustments and as a coaching staff see what you're looking for. Maybe you find a diamond in the rough that you weren't necessarily prepared to see. Hernandez sends that one up to Figuera. Figuera trying to maintain possession there, able to get it out of there to Velasquez. Velasquez sends it the other way to Kale. Kale sends it up middle. Nobody able to run that one down. And Triano really taking his time to pick that one up, as approaching 4.5 minutes left in the match here. Of course, time is of the essence. Triano backspins that one.
We see the refs continuously calling fouls to get the game under control just because they don't want any unnecessary roughness, but we get a sense of a lot of fouls and to see their creative play on what they do with that.
Absolutely. If one of the last things you want to see as a spectator and fan of the game is kind of seeing everything get out of control and those emotions flare up and seeing any kind of altercations of any kind. Sinise trying to do something with it. Kind of wraps around in a circle and now takes it towards the sideline. Now he's starting to get cornered by 3 to 4 black jerseys and loses it, but will retain the opportunity for a throw-in.
And that's what we noticed earlier, how 3 to 4 players will gang up on one player as they get the ball.
One sub checks in for both black and white. So the clock will stop as Blackburn had a sub. On that ref's whistle, they'll start it back up with 3:30 left. Good opportunity here for CUC to try and cut that lead in half. Velasquez will have a opportunity here with a corner kick. Caleb Kale clearing out, so nobody on that half of the field at all, of the pitch, excuse me. Pearl able to get that one out of there. And here comes Grant Yuji, the only black jersey on that side of the pitch. Kind of went Superman dive there, landing straight on his chest, able to get the foul call. So Blackburn will retain possession after that. And another yellow card is issued. Look to be number 39 of CUC, Miguel Salamanca, who was just checked in. He was that last sub. So checks in and quickly putting himself in the box score. Yuji with another opportunity. Shot is saved by Agudil. Excuse me, that yellow card was issued to Juan Maresco. So a little stat correction there. Figueroa fighting for that ball with Pause. Pause able to get around it and muscle him off it. UG really trying to get that hat trick as Pause doing a couple dances. Fires deep right. It's blocked made by Goodil. Not yet cleared. Pause looked to be already celebrating, running away from the play. And found himself near the clearance, excuse me. Blackburn looks to have a clear argument, thinking that ball went through the net. CUC kept playing like it hadn't happened. Reagan, do you see anything different from that from your perspective?
It seemed to look like it was going in, but it did bounce out, and with CUC still playing on it, the refs decided that it didn't go in. So I think they did a great job continuing the play because the play isn't over until the whistle's blown.
Absolutely. Final 45 seconds to play in this match. Pause will send it away. Just high through those uprights. Goodil trying to get his team going for one last run here. Blackburn on the other end, content with their 3-1 lead. They send it up ahead. Castaneda really roughed him off the ball there, and he's issued a red card.
With being the last defender and obviously stopping a potential goal, the red card, it had happened.
Inevitable, but just an inexcusable mistake with 11 seconds left on the clock. It's hard. You can't think about the stat sheet in that situation. I know the emotions are riding high with the frustration of how this game's gone, but there's no difference on the stat sheet if you lose 3-1 versus 4-1. You can't afford to take yourself out of potentially next game. It's a huge frustration for a huge defenseman that they have relied on so far this year. And on top of it, it gives Blackburn another chance to take the lead here. To extend their lead. Now another card issued. Can't quite tell who received that card. It looked to be either Velasquez or Kale, both of CUC. That one's shot save made by Goodil.
9, 8, 7, 6.
And now we'll see him hold the ball until the game is officially over.
Clock hits 0. And that'll do it for this non-conference weekday match for CUC and Blackburn. Blackburn taking it 3-1 as they will drop their first game of the season, moving that record to 1-1-1. We'll go over the stat sheet a little bit before getting into your closing remarks. Blackburn with 25 shots today, 12 of them being on frame, with that keeper Triano having 9 saves. Great day in the net besides that own goal that happened in the first half. Blackburn with 20 fouls, 1 corner, and 6 offsides. Then you take a look at CUC with 12 shots, 7 of those being on goal, 9 saves for Goodil, and then 10 fouls, followed by 6 corners and 1 offsides. So CUC having half the fouls, but also half the shots overall. Reagan, what did you kind of see today, and what do you think CUC needs to clean up in order to have a better situation in that following game this weekend?
I think CUC definitely needs to be more creative up top. I mean, they have their players, and I just think they're there. They just need to shoot a little more because they were doing a little more pass and possession throughout the game up top. And also, I think, obviously being a little cleaner on the fouls just because they could potentially harm them. Thankfully, they didn't over the last couple seconds, but being able to kind of getting a little messy can impact the game negatively.
Absolutely. CUC was kind of reining in a lot of cards throughout that match, with Michael Sinise having a yellow card, Jesus Badillo having a yellow card, Coach Callahan getting one, Caleb Kale got a yellow card, Juan Maresco had one in that, and then as well, Asil Castaneda had that red card, and Giovanni Velasquez also had a yellow card. So things really kind of got out of control at the end there with 3 cards in the last 3 minutes. Blackburn also had a couple, but nowhere near to that extent. So kind of just got to clean things up a little bit. But they have plenty of time before 2 weeks before conference play. And then you'll see them next here on Sunday at 1 o'clock hosting Caltech. I'm David Dimling signing off. Thank you for joining me today, Reagan. As always, roll Cougs.